That's one small step for brands, one giant leap for brandkind.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Food Chain. Today's special guest is Nate Rosen, founder of Express Checkout. Nate, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. I'm pumped to chat.
We've been bouncing this one around for a little bit. I'm finally happy to get on here and talk to you, even though you're at the show, and we're going to talk a lot about Newtopia Now. I can't wait to do that, but thanks for coming on.
Of course.
Actually, let's start with the show. You're in Denver right now. Newtopia Now is the new iteration of Expo East. Tell me more about it.
Yeah, so this is the second year they're doing it, and I think the final year in Denver, I think they're going to bounce around a couple cities, which I actually think is kind of a good idea to sort of get different regions and get more folks from across the country who maybe won't travel or can't travel to LA or New York, or I guess in Expo East's case, Philly. I also like that it's smaller. It's around like 400, 450 exhibitors. So it makes it really, really doable. And there's a good cohort too. I was looking at the list, and it's a good range of, like, there are some, I wouldn't call them legacy brands, but brands that have been around for a while. You'd probably know the name. You'd see them in probably most grocery stores, but they're still like newish. And then there's a ton of like real emerging, maybe year one, maybe a couple month in, maybe year two brands, which I'm really excited to like get some more time with some of these newer brands that might not have been on my radar because they're not maybe in the general discourse that we see on LinkedIn, on Twitter, or in even some of the other sort of new media. There were some brands in there that I was like, oh, this is like been around for a while, but I haven't heard of it. There's no press for it. There's no self-promotion from the founder, which generally might be a good thing. But I'm excited that it's smaller, that I can actually like hit everyone and feel like I can take my time with each booth.
What are a couple of the bigger brands, like known brands, that are going to be there that you saw?
Malk is there. Red's All Natural. Cho Chocolate. Oh, Tetra Pak. There's going to be a Tetra Pak booth.
Tetra Pak's everywhere, but I feel like the minimum order quantity and the availability is like the supply is super low. It always boggles me. I don't know personally firsthand, but
you're not putting Perfy in Tetra Pak?
When it was just going to be like almost just a juice, we discussed it, like almost like a juice box type thing, but the MOQs were just way too high.
I mean, if you ever want to do like a kids version, I think there's room. I mean, Plezzy. There's not that many on the market right now. Plezzy's one that comes to mind. There's another one that I saw it, I think, BevNet Live.
I remember there was one called Happy Water. I think it was in like a Capri Sun pouch. I haven't seen them recently, but it tasted pretty good. It was like a watered down like Capri Sun. I think it was like zero sugar. It was good. It was HAPI or HAPPI.
There's two P's. Oh, it's super coffee. Yeah, there's going to be a bunch of different things. And there is like a whole section. What's interesting too is, and I've noticed this at other trade shows, Startup CPG and Naturally Network both have their own section. Oh, and Angel Group. They all have their own sections with different brands represented. I noticed this at Fancy Food as well, which I think is really interesting. Like if these organizations can subsidize the trade shows and booths for a lot of these emerging brands, especially brands who like they don't have a lot of money, or they don't have a big team, or they're just strapped on whatever it is, I think it's a great opportunity for a lot of these brands.
Who's the biggest winner in those scenarios? Like who wins from it? Is it the small brands that are part of a larger group that's within a bunch of shared tables? Is it the group that's putting that together? Who's winning in that scenario? Because I feel as though the brands are sometimes too small to gain the authorization of certain distributors. I was just at the Unify Vegas show a few weeks ago, maybe it was a month ago, it feels like. A friend's brand was exhibiting, but they were fighting to get authorization from the distributor, let alone getting authorization from a retailer that orders from that distributor. Is it just awareness that helps?
I think it's awareness that helps. I think at the specialty food show in particular, like there's such a variety of different buyers at that show, from like really small independent shops to obviously like Costco walks around. So I think there's a good variety there to placate to all sizes of brands and all stages. I think to your point, I think it depends on if these organizations are having sort of a vetting process for what brands can actually exhibit. Is it any brand? Is it a brand with already certain distributor relationships in their network? I think that will determine who wins. I mean, overall, I think it's probably a little bit of a bigger win for these organizations because they get additional clout. They see, oh, okay, a brand, they enable brands to actually exhibit here. So like, I think both sides get a lot of benefit out of it, but it is a great marketing activation for Naturally Network and for Startup CPG and for the Angel Group, for all these organizations. Like ultimately, these organizations can also help these brands outside of the trade show. So if a brand finds out about these organizations, Naturally Network, for example, has chapters all over the country. Startup CPG is obviously mostly virtual, but they're all over. So it does, that brand awareness ultimately does help the brands down the line, but maybe not directly at that show.
Yeah, very interesting. And is Angel Group, are they exhibiting their portfolio? Are they helping out their portfolio, or what's that look like?
I couldn't really tell on the map. It just is a big square that says the Angel Group. I think they're showcasing their portfolio companies, or a select few of them.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. What are some of the smaller brands that you're most excited to try out this week that you've seen or that you can look at right now?
Honestly, I'm excited to see some of the brands that I know already and see them sort of in their next stage. And some of these brands, I think it's their like first time exhibiting, like Clue Coffee, which is a really good coffee concentrate brand. I think this is their first time exhibiting, so I'm excited to see them at the show. There was a candy brand that looked pretty interesting called Knacked Snacks. It's 0 sugar and it's keto and vegan, so I'm curious how it tastes, but it looks interesting.
KN or KR?
Cracked Snacks. KR.
Yeah, so that's my friend that I said exhibited in Vegas.
Oh.
A guy that was in my fraternity helps him out, Mikey Quitco. And he has a keto snack that tastes like a freaking Butterfinger. And it's ridiculous.
Oh.
The other one that I surprisingly liked better, I forgot what it was, but it was almost like I don't want to say cookie dough, like wrapped in chocolate, but he has 2 different things that he exhibited in Vegas. Really, really good. You have to check out that one. Like it tastes like a Butterfinger. Okay.
I mean, I'm going to every booth. I'm even going to go to the like skincare, beauty, wellness section. It's called Glow, which is a very clever name. I'm excited to go to that section too, because I usually avoid that at Expo West, but like there's so few exhibitors and there's so much time to go look at all these that I'm like, yeah, I'll go. I'll see what's up.
Awesome. Yeah, 450 seems so doable. Even the Unify shows, I think, have more than that, and the KH shows have more than that. 450 seems like you'll probably be seen by whoever's going there to find things. Or what other cities do they plan on doing outside of Denver? You might have mentioned it earlier, but I don't think I caught it.
I think the next one is Atlanta, but I could be wrong. I know that they were originally going to launch in Atlanta, and then it switched over to Denver. I was at Expo East when they announced the closure of Expo East, and then the launch of Newtopia Now. And I remember the mood just shifted. Everyone was like, what? It was the first day of the show. It had just opened. It was like 8 a.m., 9 a.m. And I remember just like the vibe was like, oh, that's odd and confusing and no warning. I still had a good time. I always have a good time at these shows.
I went to an Expo East in 2019. It was in Baltimore. Surprisingly had an awesome crab cake there, and I ate at the same place like probably twice. It was back when Olipop was brand new. Just a random story, two stories regarding it. And I remember that's when they had their tan with the dark green, and it said Urban Hunter Gatherer. I had no fucking clue what that meant, but I'm so happy to see whatever they did turned out into such a success, because I remember just like us or smaller founders that are going around different shows vying for opportunity, I remember witnessing that. I was with Outer Isle at the time. The story I did want to tell is that show was so fucking far apart. You had to walk, felt like miles to get from one like way more than the one in Anaheim. My feet were killing me so bad from walking from the hotel to this to that. The smartest booth I have ever seen was a massage booth. And this massage booth, like not like people massaging, it was a massage chair.
Yeah. That's insane. I mean, I've been to a ton of trade shows and conferences, and there's always at least one booth for massage or whatever it is. I feel like like some of the shows, there's not enough of like that makes sense, but there's not enough of a gap at most of the shows to actually like warrant a sit down and either just go back to the hotel or sit outside. Or
if I had a sleep brand, like I know there's a brand I see on Twitter a bit called Knocked, and then I think
Good
there's
stuff.
I think Hugh launched a hot chocolate sleep powder.
Cuddle Up.
Is that what it's called?
I think, yeah.
If I were marketing for those two people or anybody that has a sleep brand, I would put a bed, like the comfiest bed or couch or hammock. And that would be like the only thing at my booth outside like a QR code that gets you a free sample. So people just
a nap.
rest there, take a nap. Yeah.
Yeah.
Clean it every time. Have somebody there like really awkwardly, like that one show on Apple that everyone loves.
Severance?
Oh, I forget the name of it. Yes. Just like a creepy person that works there that's cleaning it. That'd be pretty
It's not
funny.
a bad idea. I'm surprised I've never seen a nap pod. I've seen people getting tattoos. I've seen like everything. No one's done a nap pod, which I feel like would be a really good idea, especially at Expo West, where it's like you're walking miles and miles and miles and miles.
Yeah.
And you need to rest your tummy.
Definitely depend on the goal because of sampling. But who wants to sample a sleep product at a show? You got to stay awake. You probably got to smash the energy drinks, So I think it'd be a good one for a sleep brand. Like, take a nap. Here's your stuff to go.
And especially if they're promoting it as an effective sleep product, you do not want to have it in the middle of the day.
Yeah, that'd be pretty fun. Someone's going to do that.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot more opportunity for experiential stuff at Expo. I remember seeing Midday Squares had a sign that said, I think because freight went up, they said it's not in our budget. Like it's just literally a booth with like writing. Pretty funny. I saw Update had one time where you could just get samples, but nobody was manning the booth or
it was
the booth.
It was just fridges. I remember the first time he did that. He was in a weird area the first time he did it, but he said it worked out pretty well, and then he moved to another area, and it was. He said, I think he's done it like 2-3 times, and it's worked every time. It's nice. It's fun. It's easy. It's like. Sometimes no frills is perfect, and sometimes you want a little frill. Like sometimes you want something going on. Like the Only Bean had like a crazy booth this past year where they were doing giveaways and all this stuff. And there was always, and they had a keg at some point and like a DJ. It was really fun.
I got to know the rules. A couple things on that. I think brands are having a lot more fun at these shows. I think the reason for it is because there's a need to make noise. Sometimes it's just noise. Sometimes it's like say noise or music. Sometimes it's like really sick. I think what Belgian Boys did last year with those bags. I bet you there's a Nexty for the best bag this year. There's got to be.
They have to. I mean, Yumi, I think, basically won every year until Anouk decided and her team decided to make that big fluffy bag, which I don't think they were expecting that kind of reaction.
Yeah, I remember walking by. I was like, "Where's the fucking Bieber concert? What's going on here?" And then I realized it was the bags. I saw a couple of the bags, and all of a sudden, it was insane.
People go ravenous for free samples.
I think the bag wars are going to get bigger this year. I'm curious what kind of stunts are going to happen. Like it used to be, like who's getting the food truck out front. Now it's like who has the coolest bag, so we can stock up on a ton of stuff.
I think Agile should get a golf cart that can drive you around. There needs to be a golf cart going around. I'd pay for a golf cart. Be so
or
nice.
A Segway,
Ooh.
like the Paul Blart Mobile.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's talk more about some brands outside of Newtopia. Some brands that excite you. I'll share a couple of mine and share a couple of yours. No worries if you have any affiliation to them. But tell me what you got. What's the lay of the land?
One brand that I discovered this actually, unfortunately, not in a real normal person setting, but it was at Expo East. Roro's Baking Company. Frozen, they have biscuits, they have cinnamon rolls, they got everything. It is so freaking good. It's indulgent. Like the better part about it is it's good. It's good. It's so good. And it's like, I think it's a mother-daughter founding company. It's just so nice and it reheats really well. Great. I love that brand. I love that company. I think they just got some new distribution too, which I'm really excited for. Another one, Zesty Z, close friends with the founder, but really love watching him pivot over the years and also develop a really good pita chip. Honestly, the best pita chip I think that's on the market. Lower net carb, it's well seasoned. They actually like make pita, cut it up and bake it. And it's like these perfect little rectangle squares, so it's not going to cut your mouth. I actually like it better than a triangle. I'll take like a soft pita in a triangle form. That's fine with me. I love that. But like a pita chip, I actually like it as like a square little chip. I think it's really fun. The garlic parmesan and their sea salt, the two flavors they have right now are really good, and their flavor pipeline is excellent.
Is the pita chip like the double? You know, like a pita has like that little.
It's double.
So it's double.
Yep. And it has grill marks on it. And their whole shtick too. They have a couple shticks, I guess, but one of them is that it's lower net carb. It's got 6 grams of fiber, which I think now, from like more of a business lens, people want fiber. It's the next protein, GLP-1, all that mishigash, and seems to be working. They got a distribution at Wegmans. They're at, I think it's Hy-Vee. I think they're at, no, Meijer. They're at all the Meijers. Yeah, they've been getting a lot of traction, which is good. And it's also a good product, which I really like. There's a lot of good tortilla chips in the market, to be honest. Like, there's a bunch I would recommend to people. One recently that I've really come to love, El Nacho. They have this like spicy mango one that is delicious. It's really fun packaging. It's like bright and punchy, and the chips are really good. And they're like they got a good weight to them too. They're really good. I really like them. Seasoned really well. There's a lot of good hummus companies now. Habiza hummus is a newer one that I really like. It is the style of hummus that like I kind of make. I think hummus is a relatively easy thing to make, and I think most people should make it. But if you don't want to make it, I think Habiza is really good. I also really like Little Sesame as well. They have a jalapeno one that is delicious, and their lemon preserve one also really good. Both of them have been getting a lot of new distribution. I see Habiza in my local bodega, which I think, like, if it's in my bodega, it's got to be good. And if I see it week over week, it's got to be good, because then that means it's moving and they're reordering. Yeah, the New York bodega scene is wild. It's got like all the Erewhon brands.
I think of the New York bodega scene as like the movie Gangs of New York.
Yeah,
that's just how I view it. And I mean, there's no disrespect to it. It's just like if you're not on point, you're gonna lose your shit to somebody else. And it's like, as you mentioned, if it's constantly on that shelf, it's being reordered, because they're not just gonna let it sit there. And if it does, someone's gonna take that spot.
And which is so funny, because they have so many damn SKUs in such a tiny space. Like, the SKU per square footage, I think it has to be really high, because every time I go in, I'm like, how do you have this much variety of each product in such a small space? Like, they always have like Olipop and Poppy and Perfy, and like, you go in, you're like, it's the suite of better for you sodas, or it's the sweet, and except with chips. Chips, usually they only have a couple brands. Maybe it's Hal's, maybe it's Vicky's. Vicky's? Yeah, Miss Vicky's.
Small tidbit. I'm happy to be corrected if anyone's listening or watching this. I believe Hal's is owned by Big Geyser.
Correct. And it is the best seltzer on the market, next to Polar.
I've never opened one without exploding on like the seltzer just exploding everywhere.
Really?
I always forget how. Yeah, dude, I'm so bad at like the slow release. I'm just like, I need to chug this, because sometimes I'm really craving like the carbonated bite, and I always splash it on myself.
It is like, bitter's not the right word. It's very punchy carbonation in Hal's. Like, if you like a carbonated beverage, you get a Hal's. If you want something a little bit less carbonated, go for like a Schweppes or whatever. But the Hal's is like, it like hurts. It's good. I love it.
Yeah, it fights back. Definitely fights back.
Yeah, it's good. Just the cola one was not good. That was weird. But I always get the black cherry. That one's consistently good.
Colas are tough, no matter which better food brand that's trying to make it. I did have one recently. I was like, holy moly, I can't believe this brand like pretty much nailed it. But I was in a meeting literally yesterday morning in Boise, and the conversation came up about Perfy's cherry cola. Like, before they tried it, they were saying,
"This is really good."
Yeah, but does it taste like cola? Because it's so tough to actually do it naturally. Not too tough to put some caramel coloring and the most artificial cola flavor possible. Very, very tough to make it taste like a cola with juices and organic natural flavors. And
do you know who did a pretty good job at a cherry cola? Perfy, but also, unfortunately, Pepsi.
Is it good?
I tried both of them. I was lucky enough to get them early. They both just tasted like Pepsi. Like, one tasted like a Pepsi, one tasted like a cherry vanilla Pepsi, which I think is really good that it did. I think it's good that it doesn't taste like something it's not. Because if they're thinking with launching this is we're going to get people who wouldn't get Poppy and then maybe get them into the fold with Poppy. It needs to be a 1-to-1 match. It can't be different.
That makes sense, because I believe Poppy's cola flavor is one of their least performing, if I'm not mistaken. So it makes total sense.
And I ended up trying. I was making some videos that day or the day before, and I was like, okay, I haven't had a Poppy cola. Let me go try it. So I went to Bodega, I picked it up. It's not good. It's not good at all. It tasted like you soaked water in like Haribo cola gummies.
Dang, that doesn't sound exciting.
I think it's their worst flavor. They've
got a couple good ones, I think. I often try them not from a hater perspective, but from a there's a lot of room for everyone to win.
Well, they've also been acquired by Pepsi. Like, you hating them or not hating them is irrelevant now.
Exactly. Yeah. Olipop's crisp apple, pretty solid.
First time I had it, it tasted like a candle.
One of the funniest reviews I've heard before on a brand, I forgot, Eric Conerish or something like that. He had like a foodie Instagram back in the day when I was at Quest, and he reviewed a brand. He does not pull punches, and he said it tasted like a Yankee Candle, and I laughed so hard. And I always think about that when people say something tastes like a candle.
Yeah, there's a couple things that I've had that have tasted like a candle. That one in particular, I remember I was in Cincinnati. I was at Jungle Jim's, my favorite grocery store, and I remember some Steven or the Olipop Twitter account or somebody they just had posted it, and I walked into Jungle Jim's. There it was, already on shelf, and I was like, I actually think it was on shelf too early. From what I gathered and what I learned later, I think it was on shelf way too early, but I tried it, and it did taste like a candle. But they still had cases of Ugly left over.
Wow.
Yeah.
How long had this been since Ugly closed the doors?
Yeah, this was, I think, like maybe a year or maybe a little bit less. I texted Hugh and he's like, yeah, send me the batch numbers, like the last one ever made or something. It was still good.
Yeah, I remember ordering that. I loved Ugly's cans, man. They're so fun. He's a good dude.
I want it back. I will do whatever it takes.
Yeah, he deserves a comeback. He's a good guy. I met him once, I think at BevNet last year. It was last year, I think, that I first met him. But anywho, Ugly was badass. Actually, I didn't share a couple of brands that I like. There's one brand that's near you. I talked about her on her brand in the last show with Wade. I'm going to talk about it again because I think that it deserves it. Don't know this person, no affiliation, never even tried the product. All I know is she's selling her yogurt like drugs in New York. Oh. And it's called Sour Milk. Yeah. You probably know her, yeah?
It's a great product. Founders are great. They are hustling. My God.
That's one of my favorites. And it makes like any other, like there's hustling as a founder and there's like hustling. And they took my backyard shady deals. I used to have like a series on Twitter where I'd have people come by and like either sell or they'd pick up samples in my garage. But they actually took like the drug deal to the max. Yeah. They're doing the brown paper bags and everything. I love that story.
All over the city too. I remember I met up with them once. This is before they changed their name to Sour Milk. I met up with them at the 14th Street subway station. I literally got on the subway, met up with them. I had a cooler bag with me. They had a cooler bag with them. Exchanged pleasantries. I got yogurt and I went right back home because I had a call.
Yeah, that's fun. So fun. Like, first thing I would do is like hire a video person to just follow me around if I were them. Yeah. And just record all of the shadiest and make it look like really, really shady.
Yeah, the Midday Squares model.
They've done a shady thing. I don't know if I've seen that. I've seen him do the videos where he's going around, what do you call it, the milk runs?
The milk runs. No, Midday Squares, like, if you ever run in, I don't know if they're still doing this, but for a while, they had a guy just walking around with a camera on them.
Oh,
like, his job was just to record that. And yeah, but like, I think they should do, they could do something to make it real sketchy.
Yeah.
Like good sketchy.
Yeah. Good sketchy, but like the payoff is like, hey, this is actually like PG-13.
Right.
But it should feel like the buildup should really feel like there's some drugs going down.
Yeah. I mean, it's good yogurt. I like it a lot. Sour.
I think they'll do well. The hustle goes a long way.
Yeah.
So that's one that I really like. I think that's my biggest one that I think Laurel's, what Isabel's doing is really cool, and how she's telling the hustle story, and she's super smart.
Crazy. You should come to our little launch party in September in New York?
New York? Do one in LA. I'll hold down the wing on the LA.
Okay.
Going to New York is like, I try to avoid it as much as possible.
Look,
It's
that's
like the
fair.
Tupac and Biggie.
New York can be a lot, but bodegas.
And there is a sandwich spot I do want to go there with my fiance now. So I'll be back there, but probably not September 20th.
Which sandwich spot?
It's bookmarked in her, she has like this list of just bookmarks of different food places all over the world. So it's one of them that I forwarded via DM where I was like, this looks great. Got to check it out. It's not the El Antico Now thing. We've done that one in Venice. It's a different one that's near there.
Interesting. Those are two good brands. Very, very dairy forward.
Yeah, dairy's back though, man. Like with the A2, Alec, I think Alex has really helped out with that. Isabel's sour milk. It's not A2, and it's not really dairy, but you know who's making a comeback soon? Stu from Gigantic.
Yes, I saw his new branding. I don't think I tried his new formulation yet, but I love those bars. The banana one was my favorite. My wife hates banana, which I think should be illegal. Banana is great.
I have some of it in the pantry. I just don't know if I could show it. He'd probably be really pissed, but it's really good. He tweaked it a little bit, and he'll announce on his own terms, but I think people will enjoy it.
I also like the size of those bars. They weren't too massive, and they weren't like too small either. I thought it was like a really like perfect size, where it's like this is as much of a chocolate bar as I like. This is what I want. It's perfect.
I can't give spoilers, and I don't really know. He just sent me some. I will say that they are different. It's not the same bar that you once remembered.
Yeah.
It's good though. They're super good. I think it's still a nice size for how decadent it is. I think those brands, I think he'll do well. Sour Milk, Laurel's. There's some others off the top of my head that I always try to support. Some that I actually buy and try. Oh, Rotten. Rotten's really good.
I really like the sour one, and I really like the crunchies. The crunchies, I like them. Hot take. I like them better than Nerds gummy clusters. And I love Nerds gummy clusters.
I haven't had Nerds gummy clusters, but that Skyrocket from Ferraro, I think they own Nerds.
Yep.
It makes so much sense. He moved so fast going to the gummy clusters. I don't know which ones I had at that Unify show, but I ordered some stuff when I got back. It was a super sour gummy clusters. I feel like I had ones that weren't sour at the show, or maybe I was just hungrier at the show. But I got the sour. Yeah. So it was I prefer the non-sour ones versus the sour gummy crunchies. But I bought the whole sour pack, and I love the sour worms.
The sour worms are so good, and I love my favorite thing about this industry is being able to see the evolution of these brands and knowing that formulations change and strategies change, and I like him. I really like Michael as the founder because he's very explicit with that too, which some founders aren't always. They're like, this is the best thing ever, and you try, and you're like, here's some feedback, and then they're offended, and I'm like, well, I don't know what to tell you. He always was like, this is V1, we're gonna tweak it. It was very clear that he knew the process, and I didn't think V1 was the worst thing ever. I think the current versions are way better than the original versions. The original versions tasted like a better for you candy. It really fit in that bucket. The new ones can fit in new candy kind of vibe, which I think is great. And I think they can sit alongside other mainstream candy brands.
Really quickly, FAICCO. Fiacco's is the sandwich spot that we like in New York.
Okay.
I went there with my fiance and her sister, and then we ate at the park. That's what she said.
Nice.
Fiacco's.
Okay.
Fiacco's? I don't know.
Don't ask me to pronounce anything. I am the worst at pronouncing things. I'm really bad at pronouncing things. And I took 8 years of Italian. I should know how to pronounce some of these. I should probably know how to pronounce that word. There's a chain of restaurants called, I thought it was called Felice because my aunt is named Felice. I'm pretty sure it's called Felice. So don't ask me to pronounce anything.
No, I hear you. I'm the worst at that too. And I can't switch from an English accent to the accent of the language I speak at all either.
Yeah.
I'm the worst. I'm not a Duolingo customer, so
no. This is why I think brands should have relatively easy to pronounce names. Or if most people pronounce it one way, you should start pronouncing it that way. Unless it's like, like a real proper noun kind of thing. But like if everybody was calling it Perfy or whatever, I don't know. I'd be inclined to be like, okay, everybody thinks it's this, it's that. I'd rather people know what it is than have the hang up.
I get Perfy every once in a while. I think I get more hang up or more mispronunciations of my name, but I don't like hear. They're like, is it Vasa or Vasa? But more so than
that's
Perfy,
different.
Perfy.
Your name's not a brand.
Actually, it is.
Okay.
There's a Vasa water. There's a Vasa water.
True.
You find them at Hilton's.
Okay. Fair. I have gotten like NATE. I've spelled it. I've shown it to people. They're like, how do you pronounce your name? Is it Nate? I was like, what?
Jeez Louise.
No. And like, this guy was dead. This is when I was at a previous job. I was at a customer call and they're like, is it Nate? And I was like, what do you mean?
Where's the accent at?
You're from New York. Like, what, a Nate. Everybody knows a Nate.
I've got one for you. So when I was at UCLA, I didn't want to take statistics there, but I needed that for my major.
Mm.
And math was way too hard at UCLA for me. So I went to a local community college and I did stats there. And I could already tell the professor at this community college over summer school was just really not going to be fun. So my first day of class, I convinced her that the A's in my name were silent. So she called me Vise for the entire semester. And I still have friends that call me Vise as a joke when I told them that. But I was like that student that would just fuck around too much and still pass the class.
That's a good harmless one though. I think that's like, you're good. You're safe.
I still respond to it too. If I hear a Vise, I'm like, what? Like, really? How do they know?
I don't respond to whatever Nate. I said. Nate. I don't think I would. That's insane.
Yeah, it definitely isn't. Pronunciations are weird, but let's switch gears. With every guest, I like talking about like not necessarily predictions, but more of like in sports, like when right now it's fantasy football season, people are drafting their teams. I like to think of CPG as that fantasy football. In essence, there's investors, there's retailers, there's people that are decision makers that are, for the most part, recruiters, or they have to have an eye for what's next. And I think that in CPG, people like to have so that eye to predict things in the future.
Yeah.
So that's setting it up. Which brands do you see right now? I'll start with one that I see that's I think going to do very, very well. Which ones are you seeing and predicting as like the next up and comers? My first one is Sauce.
That's a good one.
Or Sauce, however you pronounce it. I think that's like the next big one. Sauce. Pronunciations, again, I have no idea how to pronounce it. But I think it's Sauce. That's my, like, they're about to take off.
That's a good one. Honestly,
think about it.
I think I could see Little Sesame getting a lot bigger. Out of some of the newer brands, at least like right now, they've just had a good amount of traction. They've been on the market for a while. I think it's a very like approachable brand and product as well. I was mentioning them earlier. Oh, I actually think Leisure Project could get up there. I think their growth has been very interesting, and I could see them getting a lot bigger. I don't know if this is already like they're already sort of scaling nicely, but like IQ Bar too.
I think they're closer to exit than people think. If I had to take a guess, I haven't chatted with them
think so
in
too.
a while.
Will's really smart. I think he's got like a really good grasp on it. It's not. I like the brand because it's like not too in like the trendy camp, but it's not too in like the mainstream product lineup of products. On
Brian Fulmer's episode, I predicted that they go to Simply Good Foods because they have Quest, they have Owen, but they don't have a vegan protein bar. It doesn't seem like that's on Quest's roadmap. So I that's where I took my stab. Is I think that they're very close to exit. Is my guess, and if they were to exit, it would be Simply Good Foods.
That would be good in their portfolio. That'd be really good. They could also go. I mean, they could also go for like Mosh if they really wanted to. They have I don't think I've tried. They're going to be at the show. I want to try their plant-based product because I've had their regular lineup of bars. I like them. I think they're good. I think they fit in most other bar categories. Like I kind of have bars in like two really two categories. There's some that are like great. They're either terrible or they're a bar. Like, I don't think there's any bar that I've had that's like the best thing ever. And Mezcla is really, really good. I like them. I wish they were a little higher in protein, but I know that would probably affect the taste. I think Bob's Red Mill actually has a really good bar. I really like their bars.
All right. I think he passed us recently.
But yeah, protein bars really fit into two categories. They're terrible or they're a bar.
Yeah, I like talking about this brand. I don't know who created this brand back in the day, and they were like a flash in the pan. When I was at Quest, we always kept an eye on these new brands, and we would order them on the company card and try them and what's going on. There was this brand called Crave, and they were in a clear plastic, just like this.
Yeah.
And it just, you could tell it was homemade. They slapped on a sticker. That bar was so good. The rumor was that Kellogg's sued them into oblivion because they had the trademark on Crave, because they spelled it Krave.
They also spelled it with a K?
Yeah.
Why would they
just a rookie move?
Oh
no
my God.
idea. But if they ever listen to this, whoever created that, tell me what was in there, because that bar was the one where we were like, this is like really good. And then of course, like One Bar or X Bar, they all came out. But Crave was one that nobody knows about. That was just one of those bars that popped up every week where it actually tasted amazing.
That's my issue with the bar space. Like, I think there are good bars. I'm not saying that there are like these bars are like that, but there's nothing that's like made me be like, oh, how is this a bar? Like, I like Mezcla is probably the closest thing I can think of that I'm like, oh, this is really good, but it's also like different texture. It's flat. It's not this like extruded thing. Built but that's like candy. It's like the Puffs. I mean, it's $200 million business, that alone, but also it's like that's a protein candy bar almost. Yeah. I haven't really come across one that like.
I think Kai's bar is good. Former client of ours, very, very smooth, and I don't know another word to put it than just smooth. It's like not a very crunchy bar. It has inclusions in it. Kize. Founder's a really good dude, if I remember correctly. He's from Oklahoma. Every bar he gives back. He's very, very altruistic. He's very, very authentic too. Yeah, I think that one's underrated. If I had to like pick in this whole fantasy football thing, like an undervalued bar, I think Kai's is overlooked quite a bit. There was a guy that started, former baseball player. I think he's from Orange County. He started a bar, and like right around when I started my agency, and this bar, I think they had like some sort of apple cinnamon flavor. Another good one that like they nailed the formulation, but they just didn't have everything around it dialed. I'll find it and probably put it in the notes. But there was some good ones out there. I'm not the biggest on like the barbells. I think Built's pretty good. I think one, if you like a protein candy bar, you're not too worried about like organic versus some artificial stuff, Anabar is probably one of the more popular candy bars that I would look at. Anabar. Really, really weird name. I think about, there's a drug in bodybuilding called Anavar, and then it also sounds like an explosive too.
This looks really good.
Yeah, super decadent.
Oh, it's
a candy bar. Yeah.
Oh, this is candy. I love that.
It's candy with protein.
I feel like most people really like want that. If I'm going to have protein that's not like a chicken breast, give me something decadent. Why not? You know, I want that. I'll take, I mean, I like Drumroll, formerly Greenhouse Foods. I tried them when they were first Greenhouse Foods. Those are pretty good. You do taste the stevia or monk fruit, or you do taste the artificial sweetener, but I think they're pretty good. They taste like a better for you Entenmann's-ish. Yeah, but I like a sweet treat. I got a huge sweet tooth. I love candy a lot.
When they rebranded with Gander to Drumroll, that's what caught my eye. I didn't know they were Greenhouse prior, but very interestingly, I wouldn't try Greenhouse donuts just simply because when I read this brand, I just thought about greenhouse gas and whatever the hell that is. It was just a very like, I just wouldn't grab it. Like, I don't want to try that. It's not worth it. But when they switched to Drumroll, the first thing I did was grab it. Yeah. I didn't know that they were connected.
I guess branding matters sometimes.
I think so. I feel like Gander was that darling branding agency from 2019 when Magic Spoon launched for quite a few years. And I feel like the new darling is a Day Job, right?
Day Job's the new yeah, for sure. I love Gander's work. I mean, they did Graza, they did the Yellowbird. Granted, I like Yellowbird's new branding. I love Yellowbird's product. I like the old branding of Yellowbird. I like the
I don't
little
remember.
bird. It looked homegrown. It looked like it's been around for a while. I personally like that kind of branding. Like, I don't know. I don't love a change all the time. Sometimes the change is great. And I really think that like consumers don't know what's good until it hits them in the face most of the time. But I do like a branding that just feels like it's been around for 20 years sometimes. I like that look.
Yeah, I think a brand that in the sauce category, there's a couple that speak to me right now. I feel like Bachan's has punched above its weight in the past. It's been around for like 5 years and about to exit. It feels like a legacy brand. I think AO is going to be another one that's...
AO's my favorite mayo in the market.
Yeah, that's a good brand. I don't even know how to pronounce the name, but the one with all of like the veggies in it, the Guayadera or whatever the hell it's called. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Jardinero or something.
That one is correct. Again, don't ask me to pronounce things that I can't pronounce. Another sauce, well, two sauce brands, condiment sauce brands. Harry's Famous is, I honestly think it's my favorite tomato sauce brand on the market right now. Monty's is also really good. I think that also might be like up there. I also like Saws. I also like Yo Mama's. But I really like Harry's Famous. I think that one like works with my palate the best. Kabi Foods. All made in Japan, but it's a US company. They have this like miso glaze thing that's incredible. Their soy sauce is really good. Unfortunately, I don't know if I really tell a difference between most soy sauces, to be honest. Granted, I've never like really dived into that sector, but they have a good soy sauce. They also have a yuzu hot sauce that's really, or like a yuzu, I think it's a hot sauce that's really good, but their miso glaze is insane. It is so good. I need like a bulk version of that.
I feel like yuzu's finally getting some, I wouldn't say widespread adoption, but it's definitely helping out. Orange yuzu is Perfy's 5th performing SKU out of 5. And my conspiracy theory is that people don't know what a yuzu is. And the word blood in a flavor is kind of weird, even though blood orange is commonly known. But yuzu's nice to see it getting its vibes.
Yeah. And Yuzuko's amazing.
Haven't tried those or that brand.
It's good. Actually, their sodas are pretty decent. Or their spritzes. I know.
Let's do another prediction. Who is a brand that is exiting in 2025 if you had to bet on it?
This might be cheating because there were rumors, but Bonchan's is 100% getting out of the game. Somebody's scooping that brand up without a doubt.
Outside of that one, because that was like pretty public. Pretty public. It's okay to take guesses. I'll start with one. So like, this is a hopeful guess. I need Olipop to finally sell to Coke or KDP or wherever they're going.
If they're exiting, it's not to Coke. I definitely think it will be to KDP. If I was going to bet of like some of the bigger soda beverage conglomerates, I think it would be KDP over anything.
They've been pretty active recently, right? With Ghost and one other one. What was the other one?
They're involved with Nutrabolt, C4 and all that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so.
Oh, well, we talked about this too. I do think IQ Bar is probably up there somewhere. What's another one that's good? I could see Masa Chips potentially exiting. I don't know to who, but I could see that changing hands.
I haven't bought those or the Vandy brand. I think that's their tallow potato chip.
Yeah, it's very tasty. They're very good.
I was at a place in Manhattan Beach called The Butchery. And that's like, honestly, there used to be a Lindbergh nutrition store that was there in Manhattan Beach on Artesia and PCH. And it now is this place that sells meat. It cooks as a restaurant. It sells booze. It has brands like Mela there. It has the masa chips. But it had a tallow chip brand called Tips sold there. And I have some literally in the kitchen right now.
Tips?
We got it yesterday. TIPS. They're Tips tallow chips.
Huh.
And you can actually taste the tallow in the chips. They're an Orange County-based brand, I believe. Again, no affiliation. I just saw them on social. Super delicious. I think those are the best tallow chips I've had. Oh, and then this brings me back to tallow. Another brand that I'm super bullish on is Jesse and Ben's. Tallow fries.
Yeah, that's a good one. They're going to be at the show. I don't remember if walking around. Jesse said he's going to be here. Those are delicious too. I really like those.
I was at a meeting in Vegas with a retailer in January. I think I told you about this. Mm-hmm. And it was like a round table, a bunch of founders. And I told them tallow is going to be big this year, and there's a brand that has tallow fries that you need to bring on. All I'll say is they didn't know about them, and they're like, shit, maybe we do. And they're definitely in that retailer nationally now. And I think tallow everything is just taking off, and it's so good. Like everyone's going to jump on that bandwagon like it's a gut health soda, but gut health is just objectively so much better than canola oil. And I'm excited for all of these brands to start popping up.
I think tallow too, like ignoring like any claims about seed oils or whatever. It also like the taste profile is really interesting. It's like it's got a lot of depth to it, and I think it lends itself really well to some of these products, like a potato or corn based product. I don't think everything needs it, but I do think it makes the chips really good. Moss is a really good chip.
I'll have to get that next time at the butchery. They're bringing on Perfy. I'm excited about that.
Nice. Which SKUs? All of them?
They're going to order from Unify Merino Valley, and they're going to bring on Dr. Perfy, Fruit Punch, and Tropical Citrus.
Dr. Perfy it's witchcraft. It's so good. It's amazing. I want the syrup so I can make it in my soda streams.
Yeah, for sure. It's the fruit syrups, the tamarind, blueberry. It's not even syrups, but yeah, I hear you. But that's a good one. Good one. Good news with that one yesterday. But Nate, we're at time here. I want you to be able to go and visit your friends and check out Newtopia whenever it starts. I think it's tomorrow. But thank you for joining.
Of course.
It was a pleasure.
This was fun. Could yap all day.
Absolutely. Seriously, I could yap all day with you too. It's so much fun. All right, Nate.
Awesome.